Walk through the ancient Mediterranean, and you'd find her staring out from colossal temple roofs and the bronze faces of Spartan shields. Medusa was everywhere. You might even find her painted at the bottom of a Greek drinking cup, suddenly revealing herself as you drained your wine. Look closely at this face. She is a highly specific, unnatural amalgamation of traits: a gaping mouth with boar tusks, a petrifying gaze, and living, venomous snakes for hair. Why did the human imagination invent this exact creature? If early civilizations wanted an avatar of paralyzing terror, they could have easily crowned her with spiders, wolves, or scorpions. But they didn't. They chose the serpent. Through the lens of modern evolutionary biology and neuroscience, the Gorgon reveals a startling reality. Medusa is not an arbitrary monster. She functions as a highly precise psychological construct, explicitly engineered to trigger our oldest evolutionary alarms. To understand why she has snakes for hair, we have to rewind millions of years to a brutal survival war. Anthropologist Lynn Isbell calls this the snake detection theory, mapping out the evolutionary arms race between early primates and venomous snakes. Venomous snakes are masterful ambush predators. They can remain perfectly motionless for hours, blending entirely into the visual clutter of the forest floor. To survive an environment shared with animals that strike faster than conscious human reaction time, early primates couldn't rely on fighting back. They had to rely entirely on rapid detection. This intense biological pressure caused the primate visual system to expand and specialize. Our brains evolved to cut through background noise and instantly prioritize the curvilinear shapes and geometric scale patterns unique to snake bodies. We aren't born automatically afraid of them, but studies show our primate brains possess a phenomenon called prepared learning. We inherit a specialized neural template primed to learn a fear of snakes faster and more permanently than any other object in existence. The very architecture of human vision, the forward-facing eyes, the excellent depth perception, and high-resolution color vision exists because our ancestors needed to see snakes to survive. But how exactly does spotting a visual threat translate into a full-body physical reaction before you even realize what you're looking at? This flowchart illustrates our dual visual pathways. Normal visual information takes the slow, high road to the visual cortex. But severe threats bypass this entirely. They take the low road, traveling straight from the retina through the pulvinar nucleus, directly into the amygdala. Researchers have even found specific neurons within that pulvinar nucleus that are completely dedicated to detecting snakes. Medusa's head is a dense concentration of these striking, venomous signals. Her features combine to form an evolutionary superstimulus, a visual overload that directly activates that subcortical pathway before the conscious mind can even register the image. Compounding this alarm system is her glaring, unwavering stare. In the animal kingdom, sustained direct eye contact is an unambiguous signal of predatory intent. It forces the human viewer into the subordinate position of targeted prey, cementing a feeling of inescapable doom. When ancient people looked upon images of the Gorgon, they were exposing their retinas to the exact curvilinear shapes, scale patterns, and predatory postures their brains were hardwired to fear. This helps explain the most famous aspect of the myth: the ability to turn living flesh into stone. From a psychological and neurobiological perspective, this is an impeccably accurate metaphor. We often reduce our survival mechanism to a simple binary of fight or flight. In reality, when an animal encounters a sudden, overwhelming threat, the immediate instinctual response is to freeze, making themselves effectively invisible to motion-detecting predators. If that threat rapidly escalates, and the brain instantaneously calculates that both fighting and fleeing are impossible, the nervous system shifts into an extreme state of involuntary motor inhibition, known as tonic immobility. When the amygdala detects an inescapable threat, it sends a massive signal to a specific region in the brainstem called the VLPAG, initiating a sudden suppression of motor activity. This locks the muscles into rigid paralysis, inducing analgesia to block impending pain. The individual remains fully conscious, but completely trapped inside an unresponsive body. The mythic act of turning to stone provides an allegorical medical record of how the human neuromuscular system collapses into rigid stasis when confronted with insurmountable horror. Ancient humans lived in a chaotic, highly dangerous world. To make sense of their environment, they took isolated fragments of biological panic, a sudden hiss in tall grass, a predator's unblinking stare, the lethal power of venom, and deliberately combined them into a single cohesive narrative entity. We see this psychological projection across the globe. In many ancient societies, deep societal anxieties regarding the unpredictable forces of nature and untamed feminine power were grafted onto these biological predators. In Bali, the widow witch Rangda shares the same gaping maw, wide eyes, and protruding tongue as the Gorgon, establishing a universal monstrous feminine archetype. Yet, because a snake periodically sheds its skin to emerge renewed, the ancient world also revered them. They became symbols of deep wisdom, biological regeneration, and immortality, which is why the staff of Asclepius remains the universal symbol of healing and medicine today. That intricate duality, holding both lethal danger and miraculous salvation, mirrors how Medusa is viewed today. In recent years, survivors of sexual violence have radically reclaimed her tragic narrative. They've transfigured her from a symbol of evil to an emblem of righteous fury and fierce autonomy. By wearing tattoos of Medusa, survivors use her image as a contemporary protective ward. They weaponize the monstrous gaze to establish firm boundaries and deter predatory behavior in modern society. More than 2 millennia after she was first carved into temple roofs, Medusa endures. She is the exact enduring shape human fear takes when the cold wiring of our evolutionary biology meets the human imagination.